Well, hey everybody, it's Paul. Welcome again to the channel. You know, I value each and every comment. I read everyone. I try to respond to everyone. If I can think of something witty to say or, you know, obviously, blah, blah, blah. I can't even talk, let alone type. You see me, typing's atrocious. So, long story short is I'm behind on my comments, and I got to thinking maybe there's a way that I can do it quicker and make a video out of it. So I thought I'd just try to, read a few of the comments and respond to them on video. I don't know if it's going to work, or some of the people probably will think they won't see the video and think I ignored them, but I thought it might be a fun thing to do. So, what the heck? We're almost like a family. There's not many people that watch, so I'll start with, and like I say, these are a couple days ago. And this one's about my PSA about Ben driving. Gear Grinding 19 says, cool on Ben driving. Hope he's got a good driver's ed teacher. Have a good one. Well, today, interestingly enough, is the first time Ben's actually going from the classroom behind the wheel. So we shall see. I hope it goes good too. Next one I got from my friends who are in England, Infu Flux. They were saying where I was saying, like, I did a video, I wasn't complaining about the heat. And they write, heat is good, but in October is still my favorite month to be in the Northeast. And you can't argue with October. Fall is beautiful with the color change and slightly cooler temperatures. You can't argue with that. It's good. On Craigslist, Steve Westy writes, Craigslist, a fool and his money are soon departed. You proved you aren't one of those fools. I don't know about that. Thanks for the public service announcement for those who may trust just a wee bit too much. Yeah, you gotta really be careful on Craigslist. It is dog eat dog out there, and people have no shame. It's incredible. It's fun in itself. Me and Ben just still going through like the old boat section and some of the stuff you see. I mean, the other day we saw when the wheels on the trailer were buried in the ground. That's how long the thing's been sitting there, and you just see everything on there. It's insane. Okay, on Craigslist, Dan Novak writes, I spent the last 2 weeks trying to find a decent, inexpensive car on Craigslist. First one I went to see, quote, runs great, no problems. Thing wouldn't even start. Okay, you did manage to get it started, but still. Car hadn't been cleaned out. Crap out in the back seat. Did manage to pick one up yesterday. Body's a little rougher than the ad would have led you to believe, but does run great, low miles, and the price was right. There's deals out there. I use Craigslist. I've sold on it. I buy on it. It's one of those things you just got to deal with, because it's highly convenient. And my glasses are really glaring in the light. Sorry about that. I don't know if this is going to work good or not. I guess I could do it without my glasses and just lean in to read. Okay, now this is from Andrew Konakov. Something like that. I believe he's in Russia. He does some cool videos, good filming, different things. He's always showing cats in them, and so if you're a cat lover, so he writes, and I don't think English is his first, and he's the poet. He's the poet of the channel. If we have a poet, it would be him. Anyway, he writes, last week I went to a Scientology office, which for many years is placed on one of the central districts of St. Petersburg, but I was not able to get inside. There took place a police raid. All Scientologists were arrested en masse. It is said that Scientologists are very fond of money. They themselves are able to earn money and help their own people to do the same. I could not get to them in their building. That is, I was left without a possible big money, but I'm not complaining because I wasn't complaining. He's not complaining. When they will pay our city authorities the next trick, I will repeat this attempt. Maybe the rich to be a bit boring, but it's not until I experimented firsthand says something sensible to poor people. Yeah, I mean, I would like to experience being rich firsthand. It would be great. I mean, just, there's people out there that can buy what they want. They don't look at the price. The price isn't really, for me, it's always about the price. I'm just naturally wired thrifty, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. That's just how I was brought up, to be kind of cheap ass, but it's not a bad thing. But yeah, there's people out there that can buy stuff, not having to worry about the price, and that would be fun for me to at least experience. So Takiti40 says, my opinions on Craigslist is like a bad car dealership. You just don't trust websites like Craigslist. For me, it sounds like people would rip you off just to get money out of a person. Absolutely. There are people that are heartless. They will rip you off, and that's just how they're wired. They don't care. They live in that environment or whatever that it's like dog eat dog, survival of the fittest. They want your money. They're not going to worry about it. Influx making a joke about, he says, I should see the Ron Williams movie, The Angriest Man in Brooklyn, before you make a next rant video. I'm assuming he's referring to the fact that I'm the mild ranter, not a very true ranter. I don't know. I haven't seen that movie. I'll have to check it out, though. James Vlogs writes, what's black and never works? He writes as a question. A Mercury outboard, because Mercuries are traditionally always black. People are incredibly, well, let me stop there and I'll just tell you a quick thing. Yeah, yes and no. Like, I owned, back in the early 80s, I bought a 70 horse when they were just, in the old days you always have mixed oil. Now this wasn't a 4-stroke, it was still a 2-stroke engine, but it blended the oil. It had a separate oil tank and it would blend it with the gas for you. So that's about when it was the early 80s, mid 80s. Anyway, I had a 70 horse, and there's a connecting rod connects to the pistons, and what I think happened is one of those nuts came off. It was 1 month out of warranty. So I called Mercury and told them what happened. They said, well, take it into a Mercury dealer, and if the mechanic says, yeah, that's what happened, we're still going to make it good, even though it was a month out of warranty. So I thought that was very stand-up of them, even though it shouldn't. It's one of those things that shouldn't have went bad. I mean, it should never come off, but it did come off. And then, even though it was like out of the, I think they had a 1-year warranty, it was 1 month out, they were still going to make it good. After that, I bought a brand new 115, the Tower of Power, and I used that for almost 2 decades. Never had a problem. Never had a problem. Always ran good. So, yeah, I guess I'm probably 50-50 on Mercuries. I mean, I did get a bad one that was a long time ago, and then I got a great one, so who knows? It's kind of like the whole thing, there's people that swear by Fords, there's people that swear by Chevy. Which one's better, Ford, Chevy, Toyota? Who knows? It depends, If you get one that was built on an assembly line on a Monday car or whatever, where the guy's like, was partying all weekend, you're probably going to have problems, doesn't matter what car it is. Okay, so he goes on to say, people are incredibly low class and inconsiderate about Craigslist. They have the same personality profiles as a psychopath, and yeah, well, he's saying like they will rip you off. They have no compassion. That's what I was saying. They live in the jungle, like, dog eat dog, survival of the fittest. There's money. Right now you've got the money, and they will trade you something that's crap to get your money and not lose a wink of sleep over it. I don't know how they do it. He says, and yeah, I love rowing. I love the classic varnished wood dories. I do like, I was looking for a little aluminum rowboat. Haven't found one yet. Penguin Chick, hi Paul, I don't do Craigslist. I have never gotten anyone to respond to me ever. As far as, I guess she's saying like trying to buy stuff. It does happen quite often. the ad will be there. And this is a pet peeve of mine on Craigslist. It's like when you sell whatever you're selling, you take the ad down. That's why I always put on mine, if the ad's still up, the item is still for sale. The second somebody buys it, delete the posting. It's so easy. People are just so lazy. They won't, and then like you email them or you text them or however, and you hear nothing back. You hear nothing back. It's because the thing's already been sold and they won't even tell you. People are people. My buddy Buzz says it's a buyer's beware for sure. I had a few problems, but for the most part, I stay off Craigslist. Not a bad idea, but it's like, if you're trying to buy used stuff, there's like back in the old days. I mean, Craigslist is a blessing in the fact that the old days, I'm talking about, like the 80s and whatever, you'd want to sell something, you couldn't sell something cheap because the ads were so expensive. Okay. Dago Cleo, my buddy in Switzerland, says, wow, glad that you have an extra load of common sense. Sometimes I do, not always. Okay, Chinook Valley says, beer out of an ice cream sundae glass, my kind of guy. We all got a rant now and then, keeps us sane. None of this is reality anyhow, we're just here for the experience. And which, okay, but the reality, if you do get ripped by one of these guys, it feels pretty real when he's got your money and you're stuck with a lemon, That it's not a fun experience. If we can be truthful, kind, considerate, and have some compassion, then we are one up. Totally agree with that. And I've always tried to, my background is in finance. I actually wrote this. I answered this one. I'll read what. Exactly, to quote the legendary Charlie Daniels, I don't want nothing if I can't get it on my own. My background was in finance where everything has to be fair and square and above board. Besides, I like to be able to sleep at night. Some folks don't have a conscience. And then Jay Hanna writes to that, I noticed the Sunday glass too. Now let me just say, it's come out with it. It'll sound funny, but this is what I do. I love beer. I use Coors Light, and I love Mountain Dew Diet. So I mix it. It's about 50-50 in a glass, and it's awesome. Coors Light, and Silver Bullet, and Mountain Dew Light Diet. And I use whatever glasses around. We do have Sunday glasses. They make perfect. Hey, we got mason jar glasses. Besides, let's see, where was I at? For those that need to lie, steal, or cheat to get what they want, it will come back and bite them in their butts. Why is it so hard for some people to be nice and honest? I don't know. To just tell the truth. Thanks for the reminder of buyer beware. Was the rest of Chinook Valley's comment. And then, I kind of got those messed up. And Jay Hanna says, I noticed the Sunday glass too. Yeah, I hate to say it, but I think the cheaper stuff is more likely to be unreliable because the types of characters that are unloading it. And that's what I found. It's like you can buy a higher end item and you seem to have less problems on Craigslist. But, you never know. You can get ripped on anything, but that's been my experience of trying to buy a cheap little rowboat, and people are... Okay, Chinook Valley on this one says, I'm exhausting just listening to the emotional stress. It's the one where I did my low rescue. Never know when you might get into a bind. Thankfully, you were paying attention. Hope they give some lessons at the local schools on water preparedness. Like you say, stuff can happen in a hurry. Yeah, especially in the water, man. Stuff goes downhill, goes south in a hurry. Even on a nice day, everything's going great. And then it writes on this one, haven't seen Ozzy lately. Hope all is well for the whole family. So I made a little clip. I just took a video, so I'll put that in now. Well, there's Ozzy. I thought just get some quick video of him. And he's still alive and doing well. His surgeries, he had 2 of them, were a success. And he's always hot, no matter what. And it could be 30 degrees outside, he's usually panting. So we get the air on, and he's still hot, of course. But yeah, he had 1 surgery, and then they had to go back and get some more of the stuff out. So we had 2 surgeries that he came through, and it was kind of hit and miss there for a while, seemed like. But it was a rough week for us. And he don't like being filmed, probably. He won't look up at it. Anyhow, he pulled through, and we're glad of it. He costs a lot of money, though. He's kind of like the $6 million man. Okay, so now Ninja High Life says, I rarely buy from Craigslist. I usually use the local garage sale sites on Facebook, or lately Let Go app. I've never been on the Let Go app. I've seen it advertised, so I'll have to check that out. Interesting. Wonder how that does work. Local garage sales are good, but like if you're just trying to find some obscure, like maybe aluminum boat, I mean, you're going to have to wait for an awful lot of garage sales to find one. That's the only problem, Jackie Smith says, weird, she's in England, says, weird here this week. We went from heat to cool and rainy, then heat again on Monday. Well, so yeah, that's been hot here, but then when we have a storm, we do that all in one day. Michigan, the weather's just nuts sometimes. Shalimar Perfume says, you want to buy quality used goods? Yes. That is a hard thing to do. Yes, for sure. Personally, my old adage regarding cheap cars applies to boats also. You have to purchase from a little old lady or man who just can't drive it anymore. So, exactly, everybody's looking for the little old lady car. There's a great episode of Andy Griffith where Barney's buying his first car, and he buys it from the little old lady. I mean, she's meek, and she only drove it to church once a week, back and forth. And turns to find out she is like the front for a this car. They sell junk cars, and she's the one that always offs them, so she's really not the innocent little old lady. She's actually part of the criminals. Looks can be deceiving for sure, but yeah, everybody's after the little, and Barney gets to say, this is just my fear, and it goes through my head. It's a great episode if you're a good, he's taking everybody out for a ride. First time, he just bought this thing. Come on, everybody, go for a ride. He's driving, and one thing starts making a noise, and then another noise, and next thing you know, like the wheel comes off in his hands and stuff like that. It's just crazy. That's just my luck. Okay, let's see. Fernando Colleen say chicken legs look delicious. My buddies at the Two Old Guys show says, give them hell, Paulie. Good rant. Yeah, I'm not much of a serious ranter. more of like the Andy Rooney style. Okay, my buddy at Gear Grind in 19 says, yup, people should put it all on the table. Because I say, like, when I'm listing something, if it's got a flaw, I call attention to it because I don't want to waste people's time. He says, people should put it all on the table or listing up front instead of having a surprise when someone drives an hour to see or buy it. I've sold a lot of junk and stuff on Craigslist. I've always listed everything wrong, take pictures of the dents, rust, or whatever. I don't like surprises or screwing people over. I hate when people give me to run around too. I usually get them back low. Yeah, I just, you may as well be up front. St. Rude says, my problem with my problem is reading. He didn't say that. That's my problem. Try it again here. St. Rude says, my problem with Craigslist is fake responders. Most are fairly obvious, but not always. I'm very interested in the item you are selling. Please, will you contact me? That's a scam. You see it over and over, and I don't know why. It's like they will email you and say, and they will cut and paste the title of your ad. So say you're selling a guitar, and you say guitar for your title, or they will cut and paste and send you this thing and says, I'm very interested in your guitar, and will you email me? So I don't get what the scam is, but they always want you to email them. And you get this texted from, and it's always, it's from some obscure, I'm in Michigan, it'll be somebody in Nevada sending me a text that they're interested in picking up my $100 item. It's like, I don't know what the scam is there, but yeah, I get that a lot. You gotta just ignore them, Well, guys, I don't know. Give me your feedback. Is it boring this way? Is it kind of fun this way? It was kind of fun for me to do. Maybe I wouldn't do it as long. But yeah, let me know your feedback, yay or nay, how I can take it either way. Yeah, maybe it's something I'll do every so often, once a week, answer questions. I'll still type some out. We'll see how the responses go. I kind of enjoy doing it this way, but I'm afraid some people leave a comment and they won't see the answer video and then just think I'm ignoring them. So we'll see how it turns out. But as always, thanks so much for your time, your support. I always appreciate. And we'll see ya.